Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is officially nearly my favourite time of the year, Halloween. I feel like this is when I can get really creative and I absolutely love it. So if you want to see how I created this zombie slash skull makeup tutorial for Halloween, then please just keep on watching. So I'm going to start by creating the mouth area first, and because I'm using prosthetics I need them to set and dry before I do any base like foundation or primer or whatnot, because I need my face to be really nice and dry, no oils on there, make sure everything's clean. I'm going to be using these sculpting gels, parts A and B. I'll leave the link of the website where I bought these down below, just so if you want to create something like this for Halloween then you can. So this is what part A looks like and this is part B. They're both flesh colours, which is good. But before I do anything at all, I'm just going to take an eyeliner. This is just a brown one by Morphe. And I'm going to sort of like sketch out where I want the skin. So this is going to look like my mouth is sort of like ripped open, the skin sort of like dripping down. So I'm just going to like map out where I want that to be. I'm going to start sort of on the edge of my mouth, just sort of taking it up towards like the bottom of my cheekbone and like sort of the top of my ear kind of. I'm not going to take it that far back, but that's the kind of direction that I want it to be. So I'm just going to draw, and you don't want like a straight line either, you want it sort of like jaggedy, but you can do all that with like makeup and stuff over the top. So literally just like that, and I'm going to come from like the bottom area and take that up towards more of like a point. So we want these two lines joining together like that. And then I'm just going to repeat it on the other side. So this is sort of like a rough sort of outline of what I want it to be, like the shape and the size of it and whatnot. So I can sort of change it as I go. It's not difficult. So now creating the fake skin, I'm going to take equal parts A and B together. Now I've lost my little spatula thing, so I'm literally just going to use the end of my tweezers. But whatever. So I'm going to take equal parts of sculpting gel A and B. So literally just like that. This is just on my little makeup spatula thing, and then I'm literally just going to mix them together. So I'm just going to pick up about that much. You can do less if you've never done this before. You can do a little bit less and always build it up. But I'm just going to grab about that much. And if you angle your spatula sort of like flat-ish to your face, you get like a really nice soft edge, and it like graduates nicely. So I'm going to start with the bottom, and I'm sort of just putting it along that line and then dragging it down. If that makes any sense, like that. And then you can always just move this along and do the same all along that edge. And it will sort of like fall and whatnot with gravity, but as it dries you can just like sort of re-put it in the position that you want it to be. So you want this bit to sort of like fade out nicely. Literally just like that, and as it dries you can sort of peel this sort of side away from the area so it looks like it's sort of like really peeling off. But you can't really do that like straight away because you need it to be sort of like half sort of like dry, so you can sort of peel it away, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to do the same to the top. And I feel like with looks like this it doesn't have to be perfect, because like the messier the better, the more realistic I feel like it looks. See like how this bottom bit's dropping now? I'm literally just going to scoot that up and replace it along. So you do sort of have to keep an eye on it because it will drop. That's okay because you can just fix it. Like this bit here I really like because it looks like it's sort of falling down, like falling off. And the more it dries, the easier it does get to shape. So now it's all set and everything is where I want it to be. I'm going to put some powder over the top just to get rid of that shine. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. I'm going to pick up some of that on a brush. And I'm just going to really gently press over the top. It's just going to make it look a little bit more realistic. So I'm now going to go ahead with my base. For foundation, I'm going to use this NYX Mineral Stick Foundation in the shade Medium Beige. So I'm going to apply this all over my face and blend it out with my Morphe Y6. I'm not too worried about putting foundation over the top just because I know I'm going to be putting like eyeshadow and things over the top, so you're not going to see the colour of it anyway, so don't worry about that. I'm then going to grab a spoolie and I'm going to brush all my eyebrow hairs up so they're sort of semi-flat. And I'm going to put some of the foundation over the top. Now I'm not doing this to completely cancel them out so it looks like I've got no eyebrows. Like I still want you to be able to see that I've got eyebrows there, but I just want to cancel out the colour of them just ever so slightly. So I'm going to take back my foundation and press this upwards so it gets into the eyebrow hairs. It's going to look a little bit weird at the minute, but I feel like the end result will look good. So bear with me. I'm going to take back my Y6 just to press that in. I'm then going to take this Kat Von D white concealer in the shade Whiteout, and I'm going to be highlighting everywhere where I would normally put my normal concealer, so under my eyes, but obviously not as much. So I'm going to put that here on my cupid's bow, a little bit on the forehead and down the nose. And then again I'm just going to use my Y6 to blend this out. And if you feel like you need to do like a little bit more, because this, I do want this to sort of mimic like the bone colour, so I'm actually just going to go in with another sort of layer or coat, if you will. So I do want this to sort of stand out, as though I am sort of like a skeleton, because that's what I want to be. And don't worry too much about it looking like a little bit patchy at the moment, because we're going to be putting like eyeshadows and things and whatnot all over the face, so don't worry. I feel like with skulls it's a little bit easier to do it a little bit more messy and not going exactly perfect. Like I feel like the messier the better. So now I'm done with all my creams. I'm going to go ahead and set. Now I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and I'm just going to press this all over the skin. So I'm going to start off with the eyes, and I'm going to take my Be Perfect Carnival palette, and I'm going to pick up the shade Shuffle, which is this like orangey shade, and I'm just going to pop this into my crease and like brow bone area, not really on the lid. I want it quite high and right into that lower lower brow area all the way around. I'm actually going to blend this out all the way around my eyelid socket, under the lower lash line, and sort of dragging it down. I'm then going to grab a pencil brush and pick up that same Shuffle orange shade, and I'm going to start to sort of drag this down as though this kind of looks like tears, if you know what I mean, at the minute, into like a point. And I'm going to do the same with the top, so it's sort of like a straight line up. I'm then going to go into the Manny MUA Life's a Drag palette, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here, Pageant Queen. It's like a really nice bright purple. I'll pick up some of that, And I'm going to pop this on my whole lid, right from the inner to the outer. And I'm really taking that right into the inner corner of the eye there. I'll start to really apply into that crease. And once I get to like the outer area, I'm going to start to sort of like flick it up into the, more of like a point. So it's going up towards the bottom of the brow. If you need to be a little bit more precise, you can take another pencil brush to help you draw that line for you. I'm going to take the pencil brush again and just pop that into the inner corner of my eye a little bit more. And just ever so slightly just bring it down, sort of like following that natural hollows of my eye socket there. You can kind of see it. So I just want to like follow that, and then towards the edges of it I just want to use like a really soft light hand, so it helps me blend it out. So I'm just diffusing the edges a little bit more, just using like a really light soft hand. And then I want to take this up to meet and go over the top of the orange that we laid down. But I still want to see the orange either side. So I'm just going to create that. Create that into like a triangle at the top. I'm just going to take a really thin pencil brush, just because I want this line to be really sort of precise. I'm going to pick up that purple shade again, and I'm going to go over the top of the orange because I want to see the orange either side. I'm going to take the same pencil brush that we used before, pick up some more of that purple Pageant Queen shade, and I'm going to take this underneath my lower lash line, taking it right into the inner corner. And also I'm dragging that down further to sort of like meet the top. So see, we've got the two lines coming from the bottom and the top. So I want to do the purple going through the middle on the bottom as well. Then I'm just going to take that makeup brush that we used the orange eyeshadow for, and I'm just going to help blend out these edges. Just a little bit at the bottom. And then picking up a clean pencil brush, I'm going to pick up the black shade, which is called Shady. And I'm going to apply this on the outer half of my eye and in the crease, just to sort of like deepen it slightly and create a bit more of like a deeper, smokier or creepier look. I'm going to take that all the way along the crease actually. And then where I want it to sort of like start to blend out, using a really light hand and using whatever's left on the brush just to sort of blend it. I'm going to put that under my lower lash line as well. Then I'm going to blend that out using the purple brush that we used. Literally just using what's left on the brush, just sort of go over that bit slightly. I'm then going to pick up some of that purple shade on this larger shader brush, more of like a fluffy shader brush. And I'm going to put this where I would typically contour. So that's like around my hairline. Just really sort of blending that out. I'm not picking up too much product, literally just a little bit, and it actually does really go like a long way. I'll take that down my cheekbone as well, just to sort of like really make sure it looks like a skull. So we want all like the hollow areas a little bit darker. So we want to keep all of this white and lighter. And then using the same brush, I'm going to dip into a little bit of that black and again sort of go over the top in patches, over the top of that purple. You can also like drag this down a little bit further if you want to. It doesn't have to be neat at all. Like I said with these skulls, like the messier the better. Like literally just drag it wherever you want, like anything looks good, especially for Halloween. I'm now just going to pick up some more of that purple Pageant Queen shade, and I'm going to lightly dust this over our prosthetic sort of like ripped mouth. Then when it gets to the edges, just really lightly, soft circular motions to help blend it out. Now just going back to that orange shade Shuffle from my Be Perfect palette. And to help blend out the purple, I'm just going to go over the top. And then blend it down. Just going to apply that in the areas where I sort of want it to be set back slightly. So all the highlighted areas sort of stand out a little bit more. I'm going to put that in the middle of my Cupid's bow as well, just to make that a bit more sort of prominent. Just to quickly finish off the eyes, I'm going to curl my lashes and then apply some mascara. Mascara I'm using is the Max Factor High Definition Mascara. This is waterproof, so it will stay all night long. I'm then going to take a clean brush and mix together the shade Kai Kai and Snatched. And just to like make it more of like a reddy, sort of like bloody sort of look. We don't want it to look exactly like blood, but we want to give that sort of effect like that would have been blood. And I'm just going to put this all over the skin as well. And so it gives it like that sore, sort of like sore skin sort of look. I'm then going to go back to that black eyeshadow from the Life's a Drag palette. I'm going to apply that in the middle section of where we put that fake skin. I want to make sure this middle area is completely covered in black. I'm going to take some of that Snatched shade and I'm going to run this under my lip. And I'm going to put that on my bottom lip as well. Really sort of blend it out. Because as we are like a zombie sort of skull. I'm going to pick up some more of that purple Beauty Pageant again and go straight over the top. Just to create a little bit more dimension. And then again, lastly, some of that black. Now I'm going to put this all over my bottom lip. And then drag whatever's left down to blend it out. And because we are a skull, we still want to sort of like create them cracked look effect to the skin and the face. So I'm just going to like just do like random sort of like lines with whatever's left on my brush from the black. Just tap that out with your finger. I'm going to go back again to that pink to create like a crack on my forehead that skulls like typically have coming down their forehead. And then I'm going to go in with the black over the top to deepen it. And then again take that really small defined pencil brush and pick up that black to really define the shape of the crack. I'm just going to do like a wiggly line. It's coming off of it. You know, as you do. You can add cracks anywhere, like skulls normally have them coming off of their eyes. You can do them coming out like that. You can even change it up if you want to do like a few purple ones. Coming down. Now for the typical skull nose, I'm just dipping into that orange shuffle shade from my Be Perfect palette, and I'm going to start, get my mirror, I'm going to start to create the outline of the shape with this. So I'm going to do that one side orange, and then I'm going to take purple and do this side purple. And then using that defined small pencil brush, pick up the black again, and then literally just mimic what we've just done, but using the black in the middle. So I still want to see the orange and the purple on the outside. Then just going to dab a small amount of the white concealer on my top lip, just because I want it to be a little bit whiter. I'm just going to take my ring finger just to blend that out. I'm then going to take this matte liquid liner by NYX, just a black eyeliner. I like this one because it's got such a good tip on it. It's like really sort of sharp and precise. And now I'm just going to be drawing just like the typical skull teeth. Nothing too detailed, just to define the lines. That actually really tickled. Oh my god. Then going back to my Be Perfect palette, I'm going to take the shade Moony. It's like a pigment, so I'm going to use it to sort of highlight. So I'm going to put that on the chin. Everywhere where I want it to stand out, like Cupid's bow, lip area. I'm going to put a bit on like my cheekbone and my cheek area, like here, where you want all like the bone areas to stick out, like here in the middle of my forehead. And then if you wanted to, you could go sort of like down your neck slightly, so you can sort of contour the shape of your neck with the black. And then I'm going to go in with the purple just to sort of tie it in with what's happening on the face. Again, doesn't have to be neat or anything. Just sort of defining the neck area so it all ties in together. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. If you're wearing like all black and you're going to be wearing like a roll neck or something like that, you don't have to do this step. But if you wanted to sort of drag it down towards like your neck area and do something on like your chest, like collarbones, then you always can. So this is the final result. I all hope you enjoyed this zombie slash skull makeup tutorial for Halloween. Please let me know if you want to see any more makeup tutorials for Halloween, and if so, which ones would you want to see. Please let me know and I will recreate them for you. I actually love how this turned out. I think it looks really, really cool. If you wanted to, you could add some like blood in this area. Some of that really sticky blood is really, really good, because then it looks like real and it's not going to drip all over your clothes and whatnot. But I am really pleased how it turned out, and I all hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did, and please don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to click on the notification bell down below so you'll be notified every time I do new videos.